Okay, we're set, Teddy. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. Give it a second, see if it pops up on YouTube here. Okay. Let's start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting of the Zoning Commission, City of Danbury, October 22nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Let the record show we begin with a roll call at 7:03. Commissioner Bennett.
Here.
Commissioner Botello.
Here.
Commissioner Cabrera.
Here.
Commissioner James.
Here.
Commissioner Jowdy.
Here.
Commissioner Nazario is absent. Commissioner Nejame.
Here.
Commissioner O'Neill appears to be absent. Commissioner Harrison, absent. Commissioner Simone, absent. Commissioner Villacrez, absent. And I'm a Chairman Haddad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everybody count up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 7. 7. Okay. The next meeting is scheduled for November 12th, 2024. Ms. Reed, while we're on the subject, it doesn't look like we have anything on November 12th unless this first public hearing carries over. Is that correct?
Yes, that
And
is correct.
the cutoff date for November 12th has passed yet or no? 2 days.
It's Monday. It's
It's
this
Monday.
coming Monday.
Okay, so we still may have something come in, but not likely.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not likely. And, you know,
all right. And as
What
usual,
about the November 4th meeting?
there is no, oh, Waleed can tell you about that later. He'll talk to you about it later, okay?
hey,
Okay.
Waleed, why don't we when I call in for other matters, you want to take care of that November 4th meeting?
Yeah, if I forget, just remind me.
I will. I got it down. All right.
I sent the press release out to all the commissioners today. So, and they got the package 2 weeks ago that you sent. So, okay.
And we're talking
Okay.
about November 14th, not November 4th. The one, am I correct, Joanne?
They're talking about November 4th. They want you to tell
4th.
them what that is because I sent the press release out
Okay.
today to all the commission members.
You're talking about the public presentation, okay.
Yeah, you can talk about it during other matters. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Everyone, if anyone has their flags, if you would all please stand, we'll do the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
of the
United
United
States
States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, commission members, everybody received the October 8th minutes. Yes, they're public in the packet. I'd like to see if we can get a motion to accept the minutes of October 8th, 2024. Motion by Commissioner Botello, second by Commissioner Bennett. Any discussion? Any additions, deletions, modifications, corrections? Anybody see anything? Everybody likes it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, minutes are accepted. The instructions for tonight's meeting is this meeting of the Danbury Zoning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though this meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You can participate via Zoom and see the audio and the video, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Please be aware that we may have to mute your microphone or telephone to avoid an echo or some other background noise. This is also being streamed live via YouTube. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear on the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matters to be discussed during this meeting, including the agenda, are also available on the City of Danbury website. As always, if you have any questions, please contact the City of Danbury Planning and Zoning Department. As a reminder, the entire meeting will be posted on and can be seen on the City of Danbury website. We will follow the posted agenda as per standard practice. If prior to the meeting, any questions or comments on agenda items are submitted via email to Ms. Jennifer Eminger, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. Finally, please remember that technology glitches sometimes do occur. Please be patient if that happens. Let me also take this opportunity to read in the legal notice for the entire evening. Notice is hereby given that the Planning Commission on the City of Danbury.
Finish this?
Whoa. Got a typo on that? Ms. Reed, you sent out the legal notice to the planning commission in our packet.
You okay?
You're muted.
Unmute. I'll get it and
Sure.
you go ahead and read the other stuff, okay?
Yep,
Or start everything. We can read it at the end if we have to.
yes.
Okay, I'll go
Well,
get it.
Yeah, see if you can find it, because we really should.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 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 off, done, done, done. First public hearing this evening, only public hearing this evening, is a petition of the city of Danbury by Walid Al Bakri, planning director, to add subsection 5B, 5D to the zoning regulations. Parentheses, refined requirements for dependency treatment center in the CA 80 zone. Let me read first the planning commission recommendation. 8.3A report to Theodore J. Haddad Jr., Chairman, Danbury Zoning Commission, from Arnold E. Finaldi, Jr., Chairman, Danbury Planning Commission, regarding this referral, 8.3A of the city of Danbury. At the web-based meeting held on October 16th, 2024, the city of Danbury Planning Commission voted to give the above referenced petition a positive recommendation for the following reasons. The proposed amendment aligns with the overarching goal of the Plan of Conservation Development by ensuring that new developments enhance the community. This amendment is a proactive measure to address the specific needs of dependency treatment centers while safeguarding the interests of the community. The motion to give this a positive recommendation was made by Mr. Sylvain, seconded by Mr. Haas, and passed unanimously by voice vote with 5 ayes from Mr. Chioccio, Mr. Haas, Mrs. Hofstetter, Mr. Sylvain, and Chairman Finaldi. Additionally, we have a quick 8.3B referral from Westcog. The opinion of Westcog staff is that the proposal is of local interest and with minimal intermunicipal impact. Therefore, it is not being forwarded to the adjacent municipalities, and the regional staff is making no comment. At this time, I would like to call on the planning director, Walid Al Bakri. Would you like to just go over your staff report, summary, and anything you'd like to put on this petition? Mr. Al Bakri.
Absolutely. Good evening again, Mr. Chair. Good evening, commissioners.
Good evening.
The topic that we are talking about is about dependency treatment centers in the arterial commercial zoning district. And if you allow me, I'm going to share my screen with you here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Please advise if you can see it.
Yes.
Yes, it popped up. We're good.
Good. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
this is how I'm going to proceed. First, I'm going to actually give you an overview of the definition. After that, I'm going to explain the goal of why we are doing this. And after following that, I am going to go over the details of the amendment that we are discussing. And finally, I'm going to touch upon how consistent it is with our Plan of Conservation and Development, also
Thank
known
you.
as POCD.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So I'm going to pause here for a minute or so you can read the definition from the zoning regulations for yourself. Are we good to go, or should I give you more seconds?
Nope, we're good to go.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So to use a different language, what we call in our zoning definition as dependency treatment center is what is known everywhere as a rehab center for some folks to have a space, a transitional space, while they are in need of attention. As we speak, we have only one of a kind, which is known as Midwestern CT Council of Alcoholism, MCCA. And it's a big site, which actually you need a big site for such a use because you need more buffer between you and more sensitive uses, such as homes or schools. So what are we trying to achieve here? What we're trying to achieve is to have a minimum lot size, which is very common standard in zoning regulation for similar uses. We actually have it for cannabis stores. Also would like to have a minimum distance between this use and other uses. Back last year, the dependency treatment center was made, or actually there was a change that made dependency treatment centers as special use or exceptional use. However, there were no regulation for the Planning Commission how to evaluate the suitability of such a use. This is what we are doing tonight. To be more specific, if you see the slide I have here, this is what we are trying to achieve. I'm proposing it to be included in the zoning regulation. I have it here in a square. So we're talking about a minimum lot area of 3 acres for that use. And we're talking about 500 feet from this use to other sensitive uses, such as, if you look here, public park, school, or homes. And this is not something new. We have similar regulation for cannabis. When we look at any zoning amendment, we usually look at the existing regulation, zoning regulations, and the BOCD. As we all know, the BOCD, the main objective of which is to make sure uses complement each other and they are compatible, which is what we are actually trying to achieve here. In terms of the existing zoning regulation, we already have similar uses, which is a cannabis one that has very similar regulations. With that, I just would like to mention that this application or proposal went to the Planning Commission and it received a positive recommendation. With that, I come to the end of this very general highlight. I'm happy to answer any question. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commission members. This time, are there any questions of Director El-Bakri at this time? Commission members. It doesn't seem as though we have anything. I can't see the full. Are you going to continue on with the screen save?
No, I'm actually trying to figure out how to get rid of it.
Oh, okay, good. This way here. Once you get rid of it, I'll call. Oh, there we go.
I did, yes.
Now I can see hands better. Commission members, are there any questions? Commissioner Botello, please go ahead.
Yes, I just want one clarification because I ran into this on a personal level. When you talk about the footage about 500 feet, 1,000 feet, or whatever, is this as the bird flies, or this is 500 feet that is angles and whatever? So there's a big difference when you calculate that, whether it's an aerial view or if it's calculating by the street.
So we had a similar situation last year, as I understand, and our legal department, which we call here Corporation Council, decided that the best way to measure it is the way it's mentioned, which is a line from the closest legal parcel boundary to the closest legal parcel boundary for the use. So we are keeping the same standard as was done with the cannabis requirements last year.
I mean, just to clarify that, that's as the bird flies, which is you do an aerial and it's just 500 feet that way, or and an X, or is it 500 feet going down the street, taking a right and getting to that facility?
So it would be a straight line.
Okay, so it'll be an aerial view of,
Right.
so it's as the bird flies. Okay, so that's what they maintain. It hasn't changed.
No,
Which
that's what. So
it's made a very rigid requirement because it's actually affected ability beyond, especially for their group homes. Because if you do have another facility within 500 feet, and they are short facilities, it's hurt them. Has there ever been a thought to maybe look at that a little bit differently, and not as the bird flies, but as the metrics go as for the streets, to see if it's more amiable for letting more of these projects go forward?
That's a very good point. As we stand now, when this was sent to our Corporation Council, this is the best way from a legal point of view to defend any issues. And that's what they felt comfortable with advising us, meaning planning, to go ahead with.
We, if I can interject here, Commissioner Botello, this was the issue of measuring, and Ms. Reed and Commissioner Jody, maybe you could recall this as well. We had this issue come before us that was actually challenged in court, and the measuring it's related to the distance between two liquor stores.
Right.
And I think we won our case in court.
Mhm.
And we upgraded our measurement standards to what we actually are using now, which is what the director used in his report and refers
Right.
to. So this
That is
is,
correct.
so thank you, Commissioner Botello. This is, how can I say this? This has been battle tested, court
It's an
tested.
established
Okay.
precedent.
So
Established
we're-
precedent.
Yeah, it's established precedent and we're good to go on this. It was a big thing. Less than 10 years ago, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
Ted.
8 to 10 years ago. Rick,
Yeah, was that,
2013.
2013. Okay.
was that the one with the liquor store going
Yeah.
to the new food
Mhm.
store?
Mhm.
And they wanted a liquor license. So
Yes.
we did as the crow flies on that one?
What we did as the regulation is as they're
Is now.
as the director is submitting this is what is on our regulation now. That's the one in court, and it's the one that we use, and it's the one the Corporation Council will
We
emphasize.
clarified it
continued
after the
use.
lawsuit, right?
Clarified after the lawsuit. And it's
So now that's been written into law, it's a law of the land. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
and
Thank
we
you.
were told as fresh as a week ago that we're gonna stick with that. So I think
Thanks,
Uh,
Mr. Chair. I didn't know the whole background, but the discussion I had with our legal team is this is a way that they will feel comfortable having
Yeah.
it.
yeah, exactly. But good pickup on that, Commissioner Botello.
Well, thank you.
Commissioner, any commission members, anything else at this time of Mr. Elbaki? I see Commissioner Bennett, your hand?
Yes, who operates this facility and where is this facility planned to be built? Do we know that?
Director, this is he used as a reference a facility that's already. If we approve this tonight, the MCCA will be pre-existing non-conforming. They're already up and they're already running. So what we're doing is we have a proposal this evening that's going to create new regulations. And it clarifies the existing situation that we have now as presented by our planning director. So it's not site specific. This is a regulation for that zone.
So thank you, Mr. Chair. That's exactly the
It's
situation.
the CA80 zone.
Yes. So this is not site specific. It's more about the city being more like proactive, anticipating future development and how to deal with it. What I was actually showing is an existing one. We only have one facility that falls under this category.
Commissioner
Only
Bennett.
one.
We-
Okay,
We have only one facility in Danbury that falls under this category now. They exist now. MCCA, they've been here for quite a while. And actually their property, I think their zone was changed a while back from light industrial to the CA80 zone as it crept up Ridgebury Road, is it? Yeah, Old Ridgebury.
yeah.
So if this gets approved, there's a couple parts to this that will make them pre-existing non-conforming, but they'll still be able to continue to operate. What that means is if we accept this tonight, anyone else wishing to do a dependency treatment center would have to fall under these new guidelines. So in reality, cut and dry, real simple talk, this commission's basically going to say, hey, you know what, Director Elbakri, we kind of like what you did tonight. It's kind of good for the city of Danbury. We now have a nice package of rules that just were not part of our regulations prior to this. And I think it sounds good. We're going to go for it. Or if there's any concerns, you might want to make those concerns as well. But this is
Mr.
brand new. Yes, Ms. Reed.
It also would prevent a proliferation of them from rising up within the CA80 zone because the restrictions are a little more. We wrote the original regs for MCCA, and now this is to just make sure we don't have them showing up all over the place.
So Commissioner Bennett, just as we had restrictions between liquor stores or I guess the cannabis, this would do the same thing. So there would not be a group or a district that would conglomerate into one particular area. Since there's only one CA80 zone in Danbury, this would provide stopgap measures to protect the citizens and the adjoining properties from having groups of them open and join in without these regulations. Director, is that about right?
That's absolutely right.
Any other questions, commission members?
I
Let me just
do.
do a little matter of housekeeping. 1 second, Commissioner Cabrera. Commissioner Harrison has joined and was here and is present. She came while I was speaking the instructions. She qualifies for this evening. So what I'd like to do is, Commissioner Harrison, I'm going to seat you for Commissioner Nazario for this evening.
That's fine. My apologies. Technical difficulties.
That's quite all right. At least we got you here. Commissioner Cabrera, go ahead. You had a question?
Yeah, I have two questions. How many acres does, I know you just mentioned that it would not affect MCCA, but I'm just curious, how many acres do they have? And then do we have anyone that has a petition coming up to create a rehab center?
MCCA is, I think, 3.8.
See, I know it's over 3 acres. I don't know, 3.4, 5, something like that.
3.8, currently MCCA is 3.85.
It's fine.
3.85. And this new, what are you looking for on this? Let me find it.
I can answer the second part if you don't mind, Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
please.
So when you were asking about do we know if somebody's applying?
Yeah,
I'm
do
not
we know
sure.
if someone is trying to open a center already or?
As far as I know, I'm not sure. There have been a lot of talks even before I came in. This is not about anybody coming in. It's about doing the right thing at the right time. So even if somebody comes in and they have an application, we'll just look at it and we will evaluate it based on the existing regulation. If we don't have it, we only have it as special use or exceptional use, which is very difficult. If you have it as a planning commission, how am I going to evaluate it if I don't have the guidelines? So that's what we're trying to achieve, including guidelines to help if we have future application, evaluate if it's actually the best location for the use or maybe not.
Okay, thank
There is
you.
nothing pending. I checked today.
Okay,
Thank
so we
you.
don't have it.
Thanks, sure.
Commission members, any other questions at this time? Let me just talk something real quick. This proposal is for a minimum of 3 acres. MCCA is 3.85. When I mentioned pre-existing non-conforming, I apologize. I thought maybe I was maybe a step ahead of everybody. Further, this petition discusses that no dependency treatment center shall be located within 500 feet of a residential use, public park, public recreation area, licensed adult or child daycare center. The reason why MCCA would be pre-existing non-conforming is they're directly across the street from a piece of property that is undeveloped, 13.1 acres of the reserve, that they came in for a very simple clarification of the zone. They were originally slated on the reserve to be IL 40. They came in to fall under the PND regulations. It was approved by this commission 10 or 12 years ago. And by approving that, they have a residential component if they desire or see fit. So that 13.1 acres can actually have a residence on it. So that would make the MCCA pre-existing non-conforming only for that reason. Okay. In fact, 2 more parcels up the road, we changed the zone on maybe 20 years ago to go to RMF because their back parcel adjoined an RMF zone, and that is the office building the mothership is in right now. And I did a quick calculation on it, and it's somewhere really right around 500 feet. It might fall underneath it. So for that reason, there might be 2 residential parcels that would be within 500 feet from MCCA. All right. But I don't believe that that's an issue. They're still
Mr. Chairman,
they're still free to operate. Ms. Reed.
are you going to read the legal notice?
Yes. I want to see if there's any more questions by any
Okay,
commission members.
Okay, I just don't want you to forget.
Yes, no, I got it up. I pulled it up here. Commission members, any other questions at this time? All right, let me circle back to that in a minute. Let me get this legal notice in here. Notice is hereby given that the zoning commission of the city of Danbury will hold a public hearing commencing at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, October 22nd, 22nd, 2024, and a web-based meeting hosted on Zoom to consider the following matter. Petition of the City of Danbury by Walid Al Bakri, Planning Director, to add subsection 5B, 5D to the zoning regulations, in parentheses, refine requirements for dependency treatment center in the CA80 zone and renumber subsequent sections. Copy of this application is on file in the town clerk's office and the planning and zoning offices for public inspection. Parties in interest and citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard at this time. The agenda will be posted on the city website and will include instructions on how to access the Zoom meeting and view the meeting in real time on YouTube. Theodore J. Haddad, Jr., Chairman, posted on the city website and town clerk's office October 8, 2024, published in the News Times on October 11, 2024, and October 18, 2024. Purchase order number 2025-503. Additionally, the agenda was filed in the town clerk's office on Thursday, October 17, 2024 at 5:01 p.m. All right, let me check off the box on legal notice. We did that. Commission members, anything else at this time? No. Director Al Bakri, anything else that you want to do at this time?
Mr. Chair, just one clarification. So even if the MCCA becomes legally non-conforming, it doesn't affect them unless they want to build more. It appears to me from looking at what they already have reached the point of built out. However, if they decide to add more addition, they will have the ability to do it. They will just need an application to apply for legal non-conformance and they can expand. So it wouldn't affect, yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
Even if it happens, we have it covered. Okay.
That's great. Good news. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Councilman Rotello, is your hand raised?
It is, yes, thank you.
Oh, please creep up a little bit to the mic. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'm about to do that. I was just getting a little comfy and now I'm my face into my ThinkPad.
That's okay. Thank you, Councilman.
All right, more comments and questions than in favor or against. Just a little background on the present situation. You can refresh my memory, Mr. Chairman, but I think the condominium complex that would be to the east of MCCA was approved when I was on the zoning commission many, many years ago. But I believe that MCCA already existed. So they came in when MCCA was already there, but MCCA then expanded by adding not just outpatient, but inpatient residential. And that caused some concern amongst the HOA in the new condominium complex. I mean, it was essentially brand new, just a year or two old. And we had to put out a couple of small brush fires. We got all the parties together and everything worked out and everything's fine. It's not an issue. But just to circle back on proximity issues, generally, try to say this diplomatically, people often in that condition do not respect property lines in terms of taking a left at the end of the street and going down to the stop sign and then taking another left to get to where they're going. They often, we see this again and again. I'm on the city council and I get calls from constituents saying that these people are cutting through yards. We had this with the Super 8 and things like that. So it does make a certain amount of sense if you're going to put in proximity barriers to just have them straight lines, because that's often how people going through these issues motivate. They just walk out the door and take the quickest route to wherever they're going, which is a soup kitchen or a warming center or something like that. So if the idea is to separate a treatment center or a homeless shelter or a recreational cannabis facility from a residential neighborhood, it makes, I think, more sense than less to just do a straight line, because that's often how people will get around. If you remember when we were doing this with Sharon, there was a lot of talk about the one on, I guess, on Mill Plain, where they would go through the back. There was a swamp and railroad tracks, and they had to go around that. And should we count that? And we finally just decided they're just going to go straight. So that's what they did. So So that's my comment. A question through the chair is, I'm not sure if we already have a separation, if this 500 feet is increasing from 250, or if it's decreasing from 1,200. I think the cannabis shops are 1,200. So if the director could respond to that, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, that's all I have. And thank you for allowing me the time, Mr. Chair.
Sure. Thank you, Councilman. I'll tell you what, rather than waiting, why don't we go to Mr. Al-Bakri now? I guess basically to answer that would be, how did you come up with the number 500, Mr. Al-Bakri?
Mr. Chair, so when we were looking at it, of course, it's very difficult to actually pinpoint what number should be. So in discussion with our corporation counsel, which are our lawyers here, that what we came up with is to be consistent with what we have in other section in the zoning ordinance. In this case, we have a similar section, which was done recently, I mean, last year or maybe less than a year and a half ago, which is a cannabis one. So everyone felt that, to be consistent is the best way to go ahead. And that's why we decided on the 500 feet.
Please forgive me. Let me just ask you, cannabis is at 500?
Yes, it is 500.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay. That's great. I'll let the record show that Councilman O'Neill, Commissioner O'Neill is here. Hey, I just graduated you to Councilman. Commissioner O'Neill is here. Commissioner O'Neill, you missed most of it here, so I just have you down for present. I don't think you're qualified to, unless this is carried over to hear the tapes, I don't think you'd be qualified if it goes to vote tonight, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank-
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Let the record show my screen is filled. I have access to everyone on this meeting tonight, and I did not hear any voices and I did not see any other hands. So I will now go to Mr. Al-Bakri, if you want to sum up anything or have any closing comments.
Mr. Chair, all what I can say is what we are trying to achieve is to look ahead and anticipate what might happen. And it's good planning to do so, not to wait until you have an application and it becomes difficult to evaluate it because you don't have the regulations. That's why staff would recommend the approval of the application as submitted.
Thank you. Commission members, one last chance at Mr. Al-Bakri. Any comments? Questions? Not hearing any and not waiting for any documents or exhibits. A motion to close this public hearing is in order. The motion to close the public hearing is made by Commissioner Botello.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Nejam. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? A yes vote is to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. This public hearing is closed. Commissioner Botello, did I see your hand raised to move this?
Yes,
to-
I'd like to offer this to be put into old business, so the possibility of being able to vote on tonight.
Commission members, there's a motion by Commissioner Botello to move number 1, petition of City of Danbury by Walid Al-Bakri, Planning Director, to add subsection 5B, 5D to the zoning regulations to number 1 under old business for discussion and possible action. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner James, was it? Did you have your hand up, Commissioner James?
I did
think
not
you
this
seconded
time.
it. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's seconding that?
I'll
What about
second.
Commissioner Jowdy, seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Okay, we do not have any continuation of any public hearings. We do, however, have a petition under old business for discussion of possible action, and that would be the petition of the City of Danbury by Walid Al-Bakri, Planning Director, to add subsection 5B, 5D to the zoning regulations, in parentheses, refine requirements for dependency treatment center in a CA80 zone and renumber subsequent sections. The public hearing was opened on October 22nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. and it was closed on October 22nd, 2024. Commission members. Commission members, any motions, thoughts, comments? Commissioner Botello,
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the amended the zoning regulations by refining the provisions for the dependency treatment centers in the arterial commercial zone districts CA 80. Add subsection 5 point B that D to the zoning regulations to refine requirements for dependency treatment centers in the arterial commercial zoning district CA 80 and renumber the following subsections accordingly. Once again, the reason stated for the motion is that it complies with the criteria that we are looking for in the zoning regulations and will not have a detrimental effect in the area where this would be able to be going through.
thank you. Would you like to also add that the proposed amendment aligns with the overarching goal of the plan of conservation and development by ensuring that new developments enhance the community? And also that the amendment is a proactive measure to address the specific needs of dependency treatment centers while safeguarding the interests of the community?
Absolutely.
Sir, may I also ask you, Commissioner Botello, if you would like to add to that it's effective immediately upon publication?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is there a second? Commission members, is there a second?
Second, I'll
By
second
Commissioner
him.
James, Commission members, now's your chance to discuss the motion with reasons. Is there any discussion? Commission members, any discussion? Commission members, any discussion? Not hearing any discussion, we'll put it to a voice vote. A yes is yes, a no is no. Commissioner Botello,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes,
Commissioner Bennett,
Yes.
Commissioner Cabrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Jowdy,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrison,
Yes.
Commissioner Nejam,
Yes.
and I will make a yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I count 8-0. Is that correct, Ms. Reed? Yes. Thank you, Mr. Al-Bakri. This petition is approved, effective immediately upon publication. Under new business, we have a petition of Bright Ravens Development LLC to amend sections 4A, 6E, and F of the zoning regulations, in parentheses, revise area and bulk requirements and number of dwellings per parcel for cluster development in RA 80 zones. Commission members, this public hearing is scheduled for November 26, 2024. I'd like to see if we can get a motion from a commission member to receive this petition, refer it to the Planning Commission for their recommendation, notify all surrounding communities and need to be notified according to state statutes, publish it in the town clerk's office and all other the necessary required publications according to state statutes, and set the public hearing date as it is scheduled on this evening's agenda for November 26, 2024. Who wants to make that motion? Commissioner Bennett.
I'd like to make a motion.
A motion made by Commissioner Cabrera. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Bennett. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
aye,
Those opposed? Thank you. We don't have any correspondence this evening. We don't have anything for reference only. Mr. Al-Bakri, under other matters for discussion, possible action, can you just give us a couple minutes on that November 4th, 2024 meeting? I think Commissioner Cabrera was asking about that earlier. Am I correct? Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, as some of you might be aware, starting, I believe, like 2018, the city started looking seriously at downtown, and the city commissioned a consultant to work on a TOD study. TOD means like basically looking for areas where you can have transportation so that you can have more uses. And also the city completed its POCD last year, all of which were actually recommending that the city looks at the whole zoning for our core area, which is downtown. This started 2 years ago, and it was done by a company out of Boston. They were sitting on it for a while because there was, as you know, there was a transition and nobody was following up. Now we are at a stage where we would like to take it forward to the public. We have a full document that is almost complete. The idea is to actually engage the public and see if they have any feedback and any comments. And based on that, we will plan accordingly when to actually go to the planning commission and the zoning commission for adoption. So I know the consultant last year had already public engagement sessions, and they already were working based off that. But it took like 9 months, there was not action, but now we actually have the ability to take it forward. So this is being sent to everybody, all stakeholders, the whole community, development community, elected officials, different boards. We would love to see as many people as possible, and the consultant will be in. And I believe it will start at 6 p.m. There will be a presentation at the beginning. This is how it's going to unfold. Following that, we will open the floor for comments, discussions, clarifications, and we are really excited about what's going on. I believe it's much needed project that the city is actually doing well to take it over now, and it will open the door, we hope, for more, I would say, activities happening in downtown. And of course, don't forget, related to it, and I know you must have seen it, the city is also undertaking a huge project for all sidewalks downtown. And you must have seen phase 1, which is Ibis. We are actually working now as we speak. Actually, that's what I'm doing tonight, for how to get the second phase, which will be Main Street, going for funding. So all of it actually dovetails together, and it's a really exciting time. I know you are busy and you have lots going on. If you don't have a chance to attend, please just look at what we sent, I mean the whole document, and let us know if you have any comments. I already have received some comments from different stakeholders, and I'm actually looking forward for more.
Sounds great. Thank you. Commission members, any questions?
Could you just give me the meeting date again, please?
Okay, so it will be November 4th at 6 p.m. It's going to be council chamber. It's going to be an in-person meeting.
Okay, thank you.
You don't have to attend. 6 will be the cutoff for the presentation, but after that, it will be come and go.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Waleed.
Yeah, go
Commissioner
ahead.
Ejain.
Yeah, if we're not in town, can we view it on Zoom? Do you have any ability to do that?
Excuse me, Tom.
Yeah,
Excuse me, Waleed, I made arrangements today to have it recorded by the gentleman who does our recording. So you would be able to watch it after the fact, but not live,
okay.
you know. So
All right.
look over the package that I sent you 2 weeks ago, and if you have comments, you can forward them to our director. Remember, I
Will
sent
do.
something out like 2 weeks ago, and I said it was a package of amendments that were going to be coming before us, and we wanted you to look at them.
Yeah,
Okay.
So no,
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Juan. And Mr. Chair, since we're at it, I would like to mention that some of what we are looking at, we haven't seen here before. To give you an example, we are looking at having different ways of building parking lots, which we call low impact. This is something we never had before, which is crucial for downtown. As we all know, the city has some challenges regarding stormwater management. So we actually have new innovative ways to look at it. We have more innovative ways about, you know what, if you would like to have more units, that might be something the city can look at in exchange for affordable units.
Right.
So we have lots of things that hopefully if it materializes, based on what I have done elsewhere, it could work wonders, and it can help alleviate some of the issues the city is facing.
Sounds exciting. Commission members, anything else at this time? Nothing else? Before we go, let me just also thank Commissioner Simone for his service to the city. We received a letter from him on October 22nd. As you know, I was recently hired by the city to be the new Assistant Park and Recreation Director. And his intention is to resign from the Zoning Commission. He says, thank you for your leadership this past year, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time on the commission. So Commissioner Simone enjoyed his time here, and we appreciate his service. He got to vote on a couple things as an alternate. I don't believe we got his formal resignation yet, but right now we do have his intention, and he will be resigning. So I want to thank him if he's tuning in, and at the very least, if not, it's a public record. And I know we all wish him the best in his new endeavor and thank him for his role on the zoning commission. Anything else, commission members? Anything else? Anything else?
Mr. Chair, if I may add one point.
Sure.
I know you guys are very busy, but if you have a chance to view some section, the implementation section in the POCD and the TOD study, you will know where most of the information for the zoning changes are coming from. It's coming from studies that the city already adopted before.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, commission members, we don't have to just see each other here on the second and fourth Tuesday. If you have any questions, call the office. Talk to Ms. Eminger, talk to Mr. Bakri, talk to Ms. Reed. If you got anything that's on your mind or any questions, or you need to know where to find something, and you can certainly give me a call. All right, everybody knows how to reach me, of course. Any other matters? Any other matters? Any other matters? Ms. O'Neill, would you like to make the motion to adjourn? We'll give you a little.
Just unmute first.
You got on mute. Come on now.
And I swear I hit it every time.
We
I
just
would
had-
like to make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Second by.
Seconded.
We'll give the second to Commissioner Harrison. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those
Aye.
opposed,
All right.
let the record show the meeting is adjourned at 7:49. Thank you very much, everyone.
Good. I
Enjoy,
finished my
everybody.
soup.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you.
Good night.
Good
Thank you,
night.
everyone.
Okay.